Hello and welcome. What we're going to do now is we're going to set up our payment methods. And to do that, we're going to go to this settings gear. And then that's going to give us a link. We do that, we're going to go to this left side menu and we're going to click payment settings. Now, assuming that you already have a Bitcoin address, you're going to want to take that Bitcoin address and place it inside of this area that says Bitcoin address. Now, Rocketer has what it calls a Bitcoin partial payment leniency percent. And this means that when the payment that you get lands within a certain percentage, you will opt to go ahead and take that payment. The reason this is necessary is because the price fluctuates often during the course of a day. It could be that the buyer may not have processed enough Bitcoin to meet your price. And what you can do is you can set this number. If the buyer meets within 5% or 10% or 15% of the actual price, you can determine that you will accept that payment and you will actually deliver your product. And of course, there are other payment methods. Rocketer will also take PayPal. It will also take Stripe if you wanted to offer those options at the same time. And once you've added in and you've saved your address, Rocketer will tell you that you have successfully updated your payment settings and you are then ready to start taking Bitcoin into your Rocketer account. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now that we have our embed code, all we need to do is to grab this embed code and place it any place where we need to put HTML code for the button to show. So, for example, what we'll do is we will take this entire piece of code, we will copy it, and then we'll go to a site where we need HTML code. For example, we can go to our WordPress site. And when we get to that site, we can choose to add a new post. We will not use the visual editor, we'll use the text editor. We can then center the code. When we do that, we can then place our code. We can then put a back code in here. Once that code has been added, we can then click the publish button. Once we can verify that our post has been published, we can then click the view post button. And you will see now that our button is now inside of our post, and that means that someone can click this button. And when they do that, they'll have the opportunity to pay in Bitcoin. We can also place that button on any HTML sales page. All we need to do is to figure out where our button actually goes. And what we'll want to do is we'll want to make sure that we add it where the code goes. So we will replace this code by cutting and pasting it, allowing it to be inside of the area. We will then click inside of our Dreamweaver, and then we'll see the Buy Now link. When we upload this document to our server, we're actually going to see the button and not the text link. And you'll see our button code there. When it is clicked, will actually give our buyer the opportunity to purchase from us in Bitcoin. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. You were looking at the inside of a WordPress installation, and WordPress is the choice of many online marketers as well as entrepreneurs looking to create a website that's easy to operate. WordPress allows for posting to keep current on content, media to display audio and visual content, and pages to display more permanent content. The appearance of the site is typically controlled by the theme system. So you can purchase a theme or you can have a theme added to your WordPress website, and it will change the look of what you are trying to communicate. To change how the site functions, you can use its plugin system. And the plugin system allows you to add different pieces of software that will give you options in the way that your user will interact with you on the site. If you were to go into the Add New Plugins and you were to go and look for plugins by typing in the word Bitcoin, you'd notice that the free plugins alone total 225, which is really only a fraction of the functionality available to people who want to have Bitcoin on their site. Now, while a number of these applications take and use the account Stripe, others rely on the system we have been talking about in this course, which is BitPay. Now, to determine best practices for using WordPress along with cryptocurrency is beyond the scope of this course. However, you can start the process of determining what's right for your WordPress website by using 3 searches. You can start with crypto. You can also search plugins for Bitcoin. You can use BitPay. And you can add a 4th search for Coinbase. Now, in the end, everything will be determined by the function of your site and how you are interacting with customers. You'll also want to keep your interaction simple since you're using the site for e-commerce and taking payments. Now, lastly, although WordPress will allow you to add new users, whether it's through a particular interface or manually, you will be holding this customer's data on your site. So you'll want to make sure that you have secured it properly before you start taking Bitcoin for your payments. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to start by creating a product inside of Rocketer. So to do that, we're going to go to the products link, and then we're going to click add a product. Now once we come to the add a product screen, we can add a product in several different ways. We can do a file download, we can add a serial or a code, or we can add in a service where we will have to deliver an email for the customer to get what it is that we have. Now, if you want to deliver people to a page where they're going to get everything that you have to offer them, you're going to deliver them using the email. You can actually do that easily through the service button. But if you want to give them a download also, as well as a URL, you are going to be able to give them the download in the purchase process and then send them an email subsequently with their download link. So let's start by clicking the file download button. And what we're going to do now is we're going to give our product a title, and we're going to give it a description, and then we're going to give our product an image by uploading it using the choose file button. Once you have your product image in place, you can then click next. Now the next tab that Rocketer is going to bring you to is going to be the settings tab. And we are delivering a file, so what we're going to do is we're going to click choose file, and we can upload any kind of document type. Typically we're talking about a PDF or a zip file. So let's go ahead and upload a PDF. We can limit the number of times that this product can be purchased, or we can let it be sold an unlimited number of times. We can limit downloads to a particular purchaser's IP. We can also watermark the PDF with the purchaser's IP and email address. That is one of the advantages of using the PDF with the system. Now, once again, if you have to use and deliver a URL, we're going to be able to do that in section 4. What we're going to do now is we're then going to click next. We are now going to set our price. We can use a fixed price, or we can decide to allow our buyers to pay what they want to pay. But if we want to be more traditional, we can use the pricing alternative. And so what we're going to do is we're going to write in our price. We're going to accept Bitcoin. And then we can use a couple of features here, and Rocketer will allow us to have everyone to be able to purchase with the exception of certain limitations. So we can limit people by our global blacklist, and anyone buying from a proxy, which typically indicates some kind of lack of trust, or we can allow all buyers to purchase. The most conservative way to allow people to purchase would be to not accept purchases from people on a global blacklist and proxies. So in this particular case, we're going to use the most conservative method, and then we're going to click next. Now you're going to notice that your buyer is going to have an email sent to them by Rocketer. So if you want to have your buyer sent to a certain URL. You are going to write that URL inside of this email. So for example, you'll notice that they're going to get a link to their file URL. They're going to get a link to the product title. We can actually put in a URL to this email. Now, one thing that we can determine at this point is whether or not we're going to have affiliates to be allowed to promote our product. And what we're going to do is we're going to click this box to say yes. We're going to give our affiliates a percentage. And once we've done that, we can then click Add Product. And once we've done that, our product is ready to go to the next step for placing onto our website. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. You can add in an autoresponder so that when you actually make a sale, the buyer is placed on your email marketing list. In order to do that, you're going to go to the Marketing tab, and then you'll see at the top that there is a tab that says Mailing List. And then you're going to see a number of mailing list providers. So if your mailing list provider is one of these that is listed, you will then be able to click that link and then enable your autoresponder. So for example, let's enable Get Response. Now what Get Response will require is that you have an API key, and then once you do that, you'll be able to see some of the campaigns. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to add in the API key from Get Response. And to do that, we're going to access our account, and we're going to go to the Integrations tab when we get there. When we get inside of Get Response, we're going to go to the My Account tab on the right-hand side, the upper level. And then once we get there, we're going to go to this link that says API and OAuth. Once we do that, you'll notice that this API key is grayed out, but yours will be visible. You're going to click the copy link, and then that will put the key into your clipboard. Once you get the key, you're going to place that key inside of this settings dialog box. And once you click update, then you'll actually see that your campaigns are listed. And so you will then go to this drop down arrow and you'll choose one of the campaigns to actually match with your product sales. Once you have a campaign listed, you're then going to click Update. Once you do that, your autoresponder will then be connected to every sale that you make inside of SendOut. Now, you will not be able to line up different campaigns with different products. You will be able to line up one campaign with everything that you do on SendOut. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to add a coupon to one of our products. And you are going to come inside of your dashboard, come to the left side menu and click Marketing. You're going to come to this screen and you're going to go to the Discounts tab. Now all you're going to need to do is click the Add a Discount button. Then you're going to create the discount. You'll decide on a percentage or a fixed amount. If you want a percentage, you'll put that in. If you want to determine that the person has to spend a minimum in order to get it, you can do that. You can limit the number of times that the discount is going to be available. And you can also discount the time that the discount is going to be available. You can actually limit the use of this discount. And then you can either auto-generate the code or you can name it yourself. Once you have all the information in, you can then click Create. Then all you'll need to do is you'll need to give your client or your customer the code in order for them to use it on your sales page. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to be able to start doing email marketing with our client base and all of the customers that purchase through our Rocketer link. So in order to do that, we are going to go to this marketing link, and then we're going to click this link that says New Marketing Email. When we do that, we're going to come to a specific page, and we can select the buyers that we like to email. So for example, we can determine that we want to email all buyers, or all buyers that did not go through with the purchase. We can write in a subject for our email, and then we can add in additional content for our message. We can add in our text. We can edit using any of the menu items that we have here, and then we can then hit send. Now, one thing that you'll want to be aware of is that Rocketer will allow you to email these contacts every 72 hours. As long as you keep that in mind, you'll be able to keep track of what's happening with those who have purchased your product and then be able to offer them even more value. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to work through the upsell process. And in order to get started, we're going to go to our marketing tab on the left side menu. Then we're going to go to the upsell tab. And what we'll need to do is we'll need to click add an upsell. And then we'll need to give that upsell a name. Now what we're naming is the actual process. Okay, we can decide whether or not to enable or disable the upsell. And then we can decide whether or not this upsell is going to happen before the client actually makes their payment or afterward. Now, if you're using Skype and Bitcoin, we will not be able to use the after sale upsell feature. So we're going to leave this at before payment. Now, we can do this in a way so that the client gets an additional product or they can have a replacement product. So in other words, when they upgrade, we can make it so that they get a larger product and a larger member area, or we can give them two different member areas. It gives you an alternative. In this particular case, we're going to add in another product. Now, what we can do is we can add in this upsell for any product or one specific product. So for example, we can add in this particular upsell. Now the product required is the product we are offering the upsell to. So in this particular case, we can offer an upsell to Bitcoin videos. And then the product offered is the upsell. So in this particular case, we can say that our product upsell is going to be Bitcoin training. Now we can offer some offer text so that when the person sees the upsell, they will see a certain string of words into a phrase, and we can use what's there, or we can write something in. What we can do here is we can upload an image to go along with the videos. So we can click upload image, and then we can choose a file that we can place with our upsell. And then we can determine what the upsell price is going to be. We can either override the pricing and place something different, or we can leave it at the product price, in which case you cannot change the pricing. Once you've completed everything in your upsell, you're then going to click create. And once you've done that and you see your upsell in place, you will have the person buy your product, but then be shown another offer. And you'll see this when the client goes to check out. They'll be shown this other offer where they can get access to additional training. They can either say yes or no and then be taken to their offer. So for example, if they say no, they'll then be taken to the regular offer where they can pay in Bitcoin. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. You are looking at bitpay.com, and you are here because this is going to be one of the sites that we will be exploring in this course. In fact, we will be looking at BitPay as our merchant in order to take Bitcoin. We'll also look briefly at marketplaces where you can sell items and take Bitcoin in exchange. But we'll spend most of our time on the SendOwl network, where you can sell your digital products on this network. You can recruit affiliates as well as build your list. And most importantly, you can take Bitcoin. We'll also be showing you an alternative network called the Rocketer network, which again allows you to take payment for your digital products as well as to take Bitcoin. And we will finish the course by looking at some of the implications that Bitcoin has on being able to take it as payment on your WordPress website. So if you already have a BitPay account, you can skip ahead past the first video. But otherwise, what you'll want to do is you'll want to start with the first few videos. You'll want to get started with BitPay, and then you will then be ready to start using it on your site. And then we'll start taking payments on the Sendout network. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the first video.